Thanks for joining me on What It Is with the Monty. I've had a great week of fishing. I fished Prosser Creek on Monday, got some nice lawns. Caught a monster rainbow in the West Walker River fishing for Patreon yesterday. So I'm gonna try to cap this week off before I start my work week tomorrow by trying to get something out of the Nevada Truckee, way out east of town at Derby Dam, below Derby Dam. As with everything east of the Mustang Bridge, this is single barbless artificial only. And you can't fish within 1,000 feet of the dam, I think it is. It says it on the sign. I gotta refresh. I haven't been out here in a while. And I've got some nice fish out here. So, it's already 9 o'clock or 9:15. I had to get my oil changed this morning before I went fishing. That little sticker on the window was screaming at me with the mileage. Just get your oil changed, dude. So I finally did it. But now I'm out here, I'm gonna get some fishing in. It's supposed to start raining in Reno around 1 or 2, so I figure I'm gonna be driving home by 2. So let's go down and see if we can't get something to the net really quick. I like it when they post the signs, regulations. You can see one up there, one down there. So there's no mistaking what the rules are. It's good for the people who fish, it's good for the fish. These crazy new low electrical wires, this is new. And I don't know, is there electricity running through these things, man? I need to be careful here. The brush clearance looks pretty good. The river's moving pretty good down here, man. They're letting some water out of Derby Dam. All right, let's see what this has in store for us. Water's going at a good pace, which is gonna be good for my jig fishing. And it's a little stained, but it's pretty clear. Man, there's a lot of debris out here on the bottom to get snagged on. I haven't lost anything yet, but it's all hands on deck, man. I gotta stay alert here. I finally got to where I had an angle on it. There's a small fish. It's the first fish I've seen all day. So, oh, he got off. He was like a little 10-incher. But there's these big matted weed beds out there, but I can't get a good shot on it because of these trees. And when you get those little trout, the smaller fish on these barbless 1/8 ounce jigs, they come off a lot. They just don't have the pressure. But there's these big long weeds growing in there now. Big wavering weeds under the water. And you know there's fish alongside it. I just can't get down there. Cast over it here. I'm having a hard time thinking how I could possibly get the fish out of there. Water and grab this thing, man. I mean, he hit it at my feet. And he was out there. And he came charging up. This water's moving. I was targeting the water in the middle where these two currents come together, and he was out there, and I whipped it. It hit the fast water, and I saw him chase it out of there. And he got it right at my feet, man. Let him chill for a second. I fought him in that fast water for a minute, so I'm gonna let him sit in here for a second, get all powered up. He's already thrashing around though. This water's cold. There's a lot of browns out here. I'm satisfied. This is worth getting up out of my living room for, right there. Nice brown trout. Get him back in. Woo-wee! Yeah, look at him. Look at him fight that current there, boy. So at this spot, the main current's coming right down at me. There's a soft current coming down the middle over that shallow stuff in the middle. And then there's another current coming in over there. So there's a confluence of 3 currents. Basically, I want to fish the edge of this current on both sides where it meets, especially where it meets that middle current. And then I'm going to cast all the way to the current on the other side. That was an edge shot, and then I want to just pop it through that slow middle stuff. And that fish must have been somewhere along. My jig caught the current, was fishing down. I saw him chasing it. And he swam right up, and he hit it like right there. It was just stripping line. I was like, that's the worst place to catch a fish. So this one, I'm gonna whip it all the way over to the far bank. I'm going over that soft current on the far side. Then I'm taking it through the middle slack water. Then I get to the edge of this fast current. So I'm fishing 3 different flows right there. They've done a decent job of clearing this brush out. It's not fantastic, but this was completely just cut off at one point. So I can at least get to some of these spots. Here, the deep water's right along this bank. And my best shot at it is just I'm gonna do some soft tossing, and then I'm gonna do some right along the bushes and bring it back up. I'm up above where I started, but here comes the wind from that. Supposedly before the rain hits, the wind was gonna get up to like 15 miles an hour and then get even stronger. So I don't know how much longer I'm gonna battle this. I said I'd tell you when I was satisfied with a decent fish. If it's gonna be 20-mile-an-hour winds, I'm good with that one. I'll tell you right now. Hooked one fishing upstream. It might be a rainbow. There's a lot of time. Oh, he got off. That was a good fish too. Darn it. It might have been a rainbow. There's a lot of rainbows in this section above where I was fishing, where I started. That was a good fish though. It was probably the same size as the other one. It was just a rainbow that was fighting a little harder. He hit it hard though. And I just cast it up. It's hard with this branch right here, but I got it up far enough, and there's a little depression right there, and he was right in that depression. Brown, he chased it from the other side. This ain't no rainbow. It's a nice brown right as the wind gets here, and that's gonna do it for me today. Woo! Hooked a couple fish. Let me get my hands wet. I'm gonna let this guy sit for a second, make sure he's good to go. He looks like he's ready. This is a good little stretch. I only fished about, I don't know, half mile of stream. I fished about a half mile of stream. Derby Dam, I didn't get to everything, but I got to enough. It's nice, Brown. Look at that boy. Yeehaw! Get back in that river, son. On the edge of the river, surrounded by these tall willows, and the water where I'm getting the fish to come out of is out there. You can see the brown, and then there's a dark depression, and that's where I got that fish to come out of. And he followed it as my line swung. I started to bring it up, and I saw him beelining right after my jig, and he caught up to it. And I'm just whip casting this thing out there. Boom, way out there. And then I'm popping it through that zone right there. There's so much water where the fish can hold. I'm basically just fan casting till I'm diagonal downstream. And then when that happens, my line ends up down there. If I hook something around those bushes, I'll just have to see what happens. I'm not liking the range I'm getting this way just because of that tree right there, but whatever. You can only really fish what's available. So that's gonna do it. That was about 2 hours on the Truckee at Derby Dam, below Derby Dam. I was gonna go hike way up above it and try some water that I didn't have any luck in before, but looked really good a year ago, but it's getting windy, and it's only going to get windier, and then it's going to start raining, and you know what? I think I'm going to weather all of that better if I'm watching TV in my living room. Besides, my alarm for work goes off at 3:50 tomorrow morning, so I think I want to go home and have some downtime. It's nice and early still. That was some good fishing. And I lost that nice rainbow. I think it was a rainbow. It was really silver. And I was casting up, and when you have that shallow rushing water and you can see it's shallow, but there's deep depressions, man, run your jig, run your spinner, whatever you're using, run it through there. If you're drifting nymphs, drift that through that stuff. But this area is good. They've cleaned out some of the brush. It's not perfect, but those of you who fish rivers know you just can't go down to the river. Well, I'd rather not have this brush behind me, and it would be ideal if the wind was blowing at my back. That way it would give me a little bit more range on my cast. It's not like that when the river's there. Sometimes you're just trying to whip it out there and do whatever you can. Because, you fish the river that's there, and you hope for the best. And here, they cleaned a lot of the brush, but there's still some brush, but that's okay. Still was able to get some good fishing in. I hope you enjoyed those browns I got today. They were fun fish to fight. I hope you enjoyed it, boy. I sure did. It was great being out here. Thank you for joining me on Wilderness with Amani. Until next time.